back otherwise over by bench. It's going to be the rush as the sprint comes forward. A couple shots go out. Gets the dink for just a moment, but stuns come through. And it's going to be Wix picking up one, Delta picking up the other. Wrap around the back, Gwanga will manage to complete the pinch as Bungi will fall. Now Wix spamming through the box, looking for Felix, manages to get a connection with his head, then finds Harry.
Goodness.
As Delta falls, but Wix can help you, because nobody on the defender side is going to be rushing to get into that position. So either needs to press forward or try to hang back, but this gets put in between a rock and a hard place.
And we do have the Stinger on Hermes, and then a Spectre for Harry as well. So a bit of a force buy with the Sheriffs on the other members.
Yeah, I mean, they're completely forcing it.
Yep. Trying to do whatever they can. And, I mean, as the Neon, if you can get into the site, you can get a lot of space with something like the Stinger. But he gets taken down again, picked off before he can make any movement.
Yeah, Wix managing to find the shot over from main, now just holding the corner. Has a little bit of backup, gets that little head tap there onto Harry. Cannot finish the job. Sets up for cheap up Nakshi and Gwanga to be able to try to turn this back around. His weapon advantage still very much going to be there. These Sheriff shots need to hit skulls. Felix will find one, but he will quickly go down thereafter. The defuse will come through. It looks like they may just hand this off to Nakshi, try to fast track that toward a force as they go ahead, scoop up whatever weapons they possibly need. And holy moly,
because now you have some upgraded buys on the side of Maru as well.
Cam's going to be cleared out as Wix asserts his dominance, steps forward. Cheapop just watching over. Finds 10x trying to make his way through B main. Rest now creeping up past bench. As Nakshi goes on the peak. Gets a decent little chunk of damage there onto Hermes. A little bit of follow-up onto Harry before he TPs out with that rendezvous. And this is certainly making Holy Moly think twice about their approach. You can see, take the rope across, zip line back over, grab the spike. It looks like they're going to turn their sights over to A main.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea here from Holy Moly is they wanted to try to get whatever orb control they could. They lost out on the one at Dish. They were able to get the one in Arcade. So, you know, this is what you got to do when you're on these ecos is think long-term, right? Try to stack up those ults and go for a big round where you can kind of bring the momentum back. With that movement, they're hoping that the A site is a little bit more clear, but Wix is ready with the pop flash. He should get two.
Yeah, mows down two, throws out the knife. Go ahead. Sure, he gets the suppress out onto the rest, peeks the corner again, finds Jin Bungi for three. Does he see a fourth? There's Felix, and he's got it. We're talking him up. This is a reason why he was the hot.
You could take back yet another round as Holy Moly goes for a full buy.
In a very rough position now. Holy Moly need to try to turn the tides here quickly.
Yeah, so that ace setup is something that we've seen Maru Gaming frequently do, going for the fault line and then the flash drive, and you all peek out from door and the edge of hall. Of course, this time kind of sniffing that out on the side of Holy Moly.
Okay, that's going to be the fast lane coming up. They're just going to pull away, bait out some of this utility. Wall going to be used. And now they fake a rotation out over to A, but I mean, you can see how far forward they are in A main. They will spot this, so the call's going to come out. They say, you know, we haven't seen anything. Maybe they take zipline back across to the opposite side. But for the most part, the read should be that they're going to be coming into A, especially after Cheebop finds an opening kill. Hermes going to be taken down. Cheebop still alive inside a tower. Just cuts back around the corner. Slow orb going to be thrown in here by Jin Bungi. Takes the plant for just a second. Cheebop will get spotted. Harry guns him down from the bench side. Nakshi, though, finds 10x. Can't steady his aim, though, Jin Bungi, so he ends up falling. Nakshi finds his second. Harry will finally strike him down. Gets the tap, puts Wix on the floor. Felix now finding another, but Delta manages to outbest him.
Well, it is a matter of time. There's only 17 seconds. Delta does not have to take any big risks here. He just has to wait for the plant.
It's the fault line.
Yeah, he can slow him down.
That's Wix now gone. Delta creeps forward. The flash comes in. He gets inside of the cyber cage. Does he just want to spam this? The answer is no. He's going to try to play this out patiently. Cuts back around the corner. He wants to catch Harry off guard, but Harry, he gets a whiff and then
out without finishing the plant and go for the kill. Unfortunately, Harry just has the better edge as he peeks that corner.
Cheapop with a really aggressive push. Is he going to be prepared? Oh, dear.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and there he is. 10x just lurking right behind the box. Takes his head off, and that's going to put the operator down on the floor. You can see he doesn't really want to mess with it, so I will leave it there. Suspected it very well could be watched, and overall, as a Brimstone, not going to be the best one to be holding an operator, but Harry with a nice little lurk finds Nakshi. Throws the hat. They spot everybody else. Now they'll make their move, starting to wrap around over towards the A site.
Yeah, so despite obviously a rotation being possible from the defender's spawn, you know that you'll still have a good numbers advantage, but Jinbong not able to actually get that first kill, and now you gotta reconsider just for a second here.
Certainly slows him up. Stars being placed. Drop down comes in. There he gets the camera set up. The dart came through as the Rolling Thunder will come crashing, interrupting the spike from going down. Delta, however, going to fall. Felix finds two. The charging onto the site. Guanga going to be good for one before Hermes cuts him down. And holy moly.
You do have that tour de force.
Tour de force, and they have the Blade Storm, so it's going to go for the double ult eco. As they go charging out of Dish, wrapping around the side, trying to check out this Beaverage side. Not going to be spotting too much, though, and the A side's actually just going to be perfectly open as Hermes moves up, confirms this. They can now go ahead and try to ship the spike in.
Oh, Harry can't get too curious here. Maru was very, very intentionally just leaving this one open for the retake.
Nakji, he's looking up towards the rope, not expecting somebody to be at the close angle, so Harry just gets that kill for free. Continuing to excel here for his squad. Cheapop with a quick updraft. Takes one little shot with the dagger. Doesn't spot much, though. And clearing Hermes off this angle is going to prove to be rather difficult. Yeah, it's just not even going to happen. The jump across finds the shot onto Wix, gets the kill. Goes up the fast lane here for just a moment as Delta comes creeping around the side. We'll throw the ping out, but given that he's got a rifle in his hands, may very well just want to hold on to this. Hermes
no, Guanga.
Playing with fire. They get the sun out, but Guanga's still going to be able to steady his aim. Finds that kill. Harry comes around the back. Eliminates the enemy Astra, and Delta will hold on to his Vandal at the end of it.
Yeah, I do wonder if there was maybe some more consideration worth doing here in terms of saving, maybe just sending in Cheapop to get some extra frags with the Blade Storm. Jump, of course, the timing there kind of catching Maru off guard as well, but that does mean some of them on half armor now. No armor for Guanga as he sits in a Sheriff as well.
Hermes sitting down here in the sewer, just cutting back and forth. Cheapop sees him. I'll send him sprinting back around the corner. He's got a bit of support arriving. Felix could turn the corner, make his way over to the bench, but for now they're just lurking, trying to see if they can catch anybody over-aggressing.
So the side of Maru, they know that no one's really pushed up Satellite.
Oh, Harry. No. How did you get into this position? Sees these stray shots coming through. Delta has no idea. Does he go for the knife? I think he thinks it's a bit too risky, but he's still going to manage to get two. Cheapop is completely unprepared. Guanga sitting silently here on the site with the Sheriff in hand, even with the slow field help. He cannot get the headshot there onto Harry. The lightning fingers are going to be popped by Hermes, but, I mean, Harry's already taken the lion's share of the kills for himself. We'll see if he can get this last one. He cannot. Hermes will go ahead. There's a little pop-off there at the at his desk as they take the lead. I mean, from losing 3 consecutive to winning 4. It's a really good swing here from the side of Holy Moly. Onus on Maru Gaming to try to slow down this pace.
So Maru once again focusing on their combo here in A halls that has allowed Harry to get control of Satellite, and B site is broken open.
Trademark gets the slow there. Right on B site. Trying to stop him up for just a little bit, but Harry again finds an opening kill, lurks out over to Dish, catches Wix. Push comes in. Hermes says no to Cheapop. Heal comes out from Jinbong. He can continue to hold this position in tower where Guanga has gotten himself into a very precarious spot.
I mean, I think at this time, it feels bad, but you got to save again. You have one person with half armor. Okay, well, if you get 2 kills, I mean, things have evened up again.
Well, he does. 10x, however, comes right around the corner out of sewer to punish. Nakji narrowly missing that peak. Over from main, wants to try to challenge tower here as the tap comes into the spike. He pushes the corner, gets the headshot. 10x trying to get that daze out as that's going to be the pop on the ult, and Delta says sayonara.
Yeah, Nakji doesn't have time.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to try to make his way out of here. If he could kill both, that'd be nice. He cannot. Only gets Felix. 10x will end up falling to the spike explosion, but it's still holy moly. Body looks like Nakji just going to be sticking through with the classic. Obviously, he has the headhunter to rely on. Does have a full 8 shots invested.
And just with the focus that's been coming through onto
hear these footsteps. There's the push. Nakji finds one. He's going to take the rendezvous out as the Rolling Thunder does come in. Nebula, however, just completely denying vision. Not that much damage just being pushed out through the smokes. Delta, in the meantime, will find Harry. Says, I knew you were going to be lurking into the spawn again. I caught you this time, you little rat.
Oh, man, and now it's just down to 1. Felix has to try to get out, but he gets taken out from...
He was going to try to make that same entry. It's just perfect. you know, conditioned themselves, I suppose. And for the last round, just realized that he's going to keep trying that until we finally get that punish. See how Harry decides to change things up this time around, though, as he is going to be entering over from B main. Nakshi with a nice peek over towards bench, finds Jin Bung-yi. Takes that one. There's Chibop has to try to push it. He will manage to get rid of Hermes. Tailwind's out as well, in case anybody else was lurking on the rope to try to counter push.
Well, since you didn't get control of B Tower, still afraid to walk onto the side, Harry finally clears Chibop.
Yeah, and Felix was coming in from behind as well. So now they have somebody positioned there on the site. Wix making his approach from main. It's going to go ahead, pop the null command. Make sure that Felix can't use any utility, not that he has any left.
Doesn't spot anyone.
Pop flash comes in, he sees one, that's going to throw out the fragment, puts him into the corner, and 10X just reacts the wrong way, tries to run the opposite side, goes into the corner, then can't escape. Swings out wide, ends up just going down to the gunfire. Let's see, though. We have another lurk behind box from 10X over here, B-main. Are they prepared for it this time? No.
Oh, a bit of a mistake. I mean, Chibop, I think Chibop was thinking about it. Wix, not so much. Eventually, it is a trade 1-for-1.
I mean, if they could find Jin Bung-yi, that's Spike on the floor.
Yes.
And utterly devastating. He thinks that he's going to be safe right now because he's got that trap wire set up. Chibop just inching all the way forward. This does put him at risk because of this lurk coming out. And is that gun barrel visible?
I don't think it was, but
Chibop,
now he sees him.
He swings out. Oh, he tails him to the side. Jin Bung-yi is there, but here comes the crossfire. Nakshi pushing all the way out of A main. Gets himself into the attacker spawn. Looks for another shot. Doesn't manage to make it happen, though. Ends up going down as Felix finds the kill. Harry lurks forward through the site, gets himself into position, finds one. As Kwanga around the back is trying desperately to find Hermes to put that spike on the floor, but he's unable to do so. And he himself is desperately low on HP.
Trying to run through. I wonder, I mean, it depends on how desperate you are about the op, but I mean, what's the consideration here of potentially just getting that op and backing out? You don't have much health. It's a 1v2. They're already on the site. You know that they still have a little bit of utility from the Neon as well to just buy time. It looks like Wonga's still going to go for the clutch play here. Of course, we are nearing the end of the first half, so all in all, if you're okay with just going for rifles or some other setup from the team, Wonga going to take his chances.
Cam angle. Not going to be able to see his approach here from Dish, but he is running out of time.
Yeah, he's just got to make a move at this point.
I mean, they're going to hear him as he drops down, but he won't even be given the opportunity. Harry just says, all right, I've had enough of this swings. Unhindered Cypher play right now.
Well, this has also caused Maru to not really be able to rely on their combos as much anymore in A Hall, simply because they said, well, yeah, we can leave a trademark in Dish, but Harry will eventually always flank all the way around, so we have to have someone watching that. Chibop has pushed up just a tad far. He is going to be stuck here in the cubby for just a moment.
Just outside the door. Once they go for that peek, the Nebula's there. They'll hear the door opening, and Nakshi, for the longest time, is watching over towards Dish. He does manage to find Harry right off the rip. So really good punish on that lurk. I mean, that's been the approach Harry's been taking the majority of these rounds.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, Holy Moly kind of conditioned themselves into that because they said, well, they always set up for this combo play in A. We heard the door, so Harry, now it's your turn to shine, and Nakchi's ready for it. So Maru Gaming adjusting what they need to, and now they have the chamber rotating over to B for extra support. I mean, given the action that was at A, you just leave Chibop here with the op. He can still dash out. You know that Dish is safe for the time being. You still have the trademark there if you need to escape.
There's the stun. Chibop just around the corner. Did get dazed by the fault line. Flash comes out. Chibop going to be completely blinded, and Hermes manages to gun him down. Finds an elimination. That's going to even it up. It's 4-4. Rotation starting to come through from the remaining members here. Maru trying to get their way over to the A site. Delta, however, gets the initial shutdown. Finds Hermes. Rolling Thunder now going to be ready. Throws it out. It misses, however. Felix just a little bit too close, but it does not matter as Nakshi cleans up the rest just off. So, we'll have to just wait and see. But straight back into the action here. Just sometimes already transpired. Nakshi found out over by the zip line, will fall. As 10X finds a nice little kill. The rest of Maru makes their way out onto the A site, minus Kwanga, who's still making his way over slowly from the attacker's spawn. It's going to be a full 5-man approach from Dish here for Holy Moly to try to retake the site. Let's see if they can pull it off. Hermes the first one to jump in. Goes out that relay bolt, but Chibop does manage to cut him down, and what? Delta comes up with 2 off the aftershock, and just like that, Maru as well.
Yeah, I mean, they just had no way of escaping that one. What a play. And this is what I'm talking about. Maru Gaming has some really solid practice in their timings, their combos, their set plays. They know how they want to execute their specific playbook. The matter is how far, how deep does that playbook go when you're going against stronger teams? But right now, holy moly, you're about even. So Maru's feeling good after the start of the second half.
Yeah, very solid start. I mean, had a decent little stretch, 3 rounds after they won the pistol round in the first half. We'll see if it leads to that again as Harry spots out the majority of the enemy squad making their approach over at B main. It's like Nachi going to be splitting off the sewer. And yeah, I mean, heavy investment. Wants to be able to go fast, and that's why he buys it.
Yep, he makes it work. And they check tower, no one there. So going to have control of that. Chibab not taking any risks. Of course, someone could be coming up from arcade as Harry just positioned.
If Harry clears this.
Oh, Harry's waiting. Chibab!
He got it. He clears it. He's going to get stunned up, though, as they want to try to get this gun out of his hands as quickly as possible. The push in the corner comes in. Delta's good for the headshot. Actually, with a nice lurk, we'll find Jinbungi completely unawares. Having a bit of an off game, I would say, so far from Jinbungi. Guanga very nicely holding it down, and that gives Maru a nice 2-round stretch lead here. Rifles in the hands of Holy Moly. Let's see if they can do a little bit better than they did in the first half and actually close out this rifle round.
Yeah, so Holy Moly, typically on B, they've always kind of sat back. Of course, we saw some neat ideas with Sage Wall before where they're just watching with the cam. Right now, it's just a setup with 10x. But their idea always has been sit back, really get info with the spy cam, and then, just deter as much as you can before we go for the retake.
Just waiting at the gravity well, inches around the side. Doesn't see anything other than the trap wire, which will be destroyed. Shots through the smoke, looking for Harry. He's tucked back in the cubby, though, so doesn't take any damage.
They're just trying to start to get some information within the site.
He's so far forward. He's playing up here right at Reactor alongside Guanga. Oh, actually takes a shot at his teammate. Gets tagged up and has to pull back, which is way too low. There's 10x. So maybe throw down a couple more sky smokes. We'll find Guanga as all hell starts breaking loose over here on the site. Chibab going to be finding one. Nakji going to be taken down. Chibab with a peek back out from tower. Falls up for a second. Wicks steadies his aim for just a moment and Canteen gets 10x. And Chibab will finish Felix. So
I think so. I think he
generator.
thought immediately that it was off of the generator, but eventually they're still able to win out the round. And again, this is the difference. Holy Moly, I think individually they have a little bit more sense to each their own, but at the same time, Maru as a unit seems to be just a little more tight-knit.
Okay, Rolling Thunder out onto the site. Chibab inserts himself as Felix will find Wicks. It's a little angle out there from ropes. Does get one, but Chibab goes on the re-peek. Makes that a 1-for-1.
And given the nice
right through the nebula.
Smoke.
He's looking for a little bit more. Gets flashed, but Jinbungi was also blinded, and Delta manages to finish the job.
Oh, Chibab wants more.
2 people left, Harry and Hermes, with sheriffs in hand. Would love to just get any of these weapons they possibly can. Harry's going to be good for 1. Takes out Chibab. Delta 1-tap if they can find him.
Do you still have Nakji hanging far back as well in case anyone comes through the door? So Maru already not able to cover that entirely.
The narrowest little angle to spot him out. Great little punish there from Guanga. Rifle though recovered by Hermes. Just grabs the Vandal, dips out of there quickly. Now wraps around, looking over towards the attacker.
You have to clear all of the angles on your own. You have the breach with full support, and then you have Wicks really covering the other angles with the suppression as well.
There are 2 completely surrounded right now in the attacker spawn. Guanga and Nakji just playing on opposite sides here. Flash comes in, and oh boy! Guanga gets a 2-for-1 special. Harry and Hermes hit the floor. Nakji follows up, finds Felix, but Jinbungi coming out from A main will shut him down. Chibab, however, is ready on the lurk. And it's a cheeky little trap play set up.
I mean, if they don't get this, it's match point, and they don't really have money to do anything in that last round.
It was the Rolling Thunder actually just tossed there right at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Felix just sending it.
You're going for some kind of super play here just to try to get the rounds back because you realize with the buys you have right now, this may as well be match point. But unfortunately, it doesn't pay off, and B-side is free.
Yeah, I just don't know why you wouldn't try to save that for the retake. Chibab taking quite a bit of damage there as the Brim ult will come down. As Chibab
gets a little too curious.
Okay, he still will get Felix in the end. It does end up falling. So I don't think the 20 damage that he took would have made too much of a difference as Nakji comes around the back. Manages to find 2. Push out from tower to look for the kills. Hermes will gun down Delta and Wicks. Gets himself over onto the spike, wants to hold this at least a half. Now, nope, just tries to stick it. Guanga inches his way up onto the favors. I mean, I like some of the ideas that we're seeing, like not the last round there with the Rolling Thunder, but the previous one, trying to go for that trap play.
Yes.
You know, at the attacker's spawn. I like that. It's changing up the pace. It's something that, you know, the enemy team is not really going to be conditioned for or expecting, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, and now you have a Nocchi really being aware of that possibility, just holding down the bottom part of the map all on his own with the 2 trademarks, and until they get that info, they feel safe slowly inching forward. You're kind of expecting everyone to be stuck in sight because no one's pushed out. That's what Holy Moly's done every single time. Maru right now has control of all 4 entry points.
Okay, Jimbingi not going to end up falling. Spotted but not eliminated. Chibop changing some shots there with Felix. The updrafts into tower, manages to find 10x. Relay bolt goes out. Guanga going to be stunned. Some reinforcements coming around the corner. The flash is absolutely perfect, but he still will manage to beam down too. Guanga and Wix get eliminated as Hermes tries to drag this back from the brink. How long does he have left on the ultimate? It's plenty of time.
Oh my
He will
gosh.
find a third, but Nocchi off of the flank. Over here at B main, shuts him down, follows up for a second shot. Harry will fall, and it all comes down to Jinbungi in a 1v2. Nocchi, however, will absolutely not give him the opportunity.
As well, and a lot of times we're going to see this with Maru, most likely kind of buying some time, getting some intel with that Sky, and then leaving Nocchi on that lurk to try to pick off an opening before they finally decide to strike.
Quick little jiggle there from Wix. We'll see that Hermes is taking the forward position over here at Garage. 2 eyes set over towards mid right now here for the side of Holy Moly as well as Nex and Felix. Trying to see if anybody is going to come creeping forward. It's just Chibop lurking back in the sewer here for now.
Yeah, and Holy Moly, they're not feeling any rush right now. I mean, you had a little bit of a back and forth here on B, but you don't see any movement mid. So you trust that it's not going to be a quick strike, and now you see some of the Viper utility. So you've got some backup. In fact, a bit of an over-rotate from Jinbungi coming all the way over as well. They're going to quickly realize, okay, this wasn't the call we wanted to make.
Yeah, the star's now coming down. We'll hear the rush coming out as that Trailblazer helps escort Chibop in onto the site. It's his way all the way back around elbow. Now they're going to have to try to go for the retake. Still a bit of a delay here as the spike is just now being brought into the site. The Nebula's up in the back, and the plant will come through with 30 seconds to spare.
Now, Maru has the positions they do want. They have their flank covered as well.
Flash around the corner. The nade manages to find Chibop, but Delta falls to Jinbungi as he pushes through the elbow. Felix now finding Wix. And it's just Guanga and Nocchi. He will try to make his way up the ramp, get himself into heaven, but 22 HP remaining and just not an angle at all to clear that spike. He'll end up falling, and Holy Moly will go ahead and close out their to take down anybody. Really rough start. Chibop, rushes up. Does get that dink there onto Harry, but the Frenzy not going to be doing too much damage. There's the Gravity Well in with the paint shells. 10x will find one. The Boom Bot gets another from beyond the grave.
Rifles, it's going to still be that default of kind of 2-1-2. Nocchi kind of helping focus on mid with just a trademark out there in case someone pushes out far down mid from Holy Moly.
Double creep up into the Nebula here in Garage. Very far back hold from Wix and Guanga, just trying to see if somebody takes the bait and inches up. They're starting to move into position, but it seems like the call comes in. No, play back. They'll throw the knife, confirm that nobody is currently lurking immediately outside of the garage. And that's going to lead them to believe that this could end up being a hit on A. Nocchi, the timing. Just a bit off there, but he manages narrowly to escape with his life intact. Needs to meet up with Delta, who's currently pushed forward in mid to try to get some of that sweet, sweet healing. Otherwise, he's currently down to, 16 HP or so.
Yeah, he doesn't really have too much he can do, and now they basically have to give up kind of control of A main. You have the trademark in case anyone tries to lurk deep into the attacker's region. But you have control of mid, but you don't really have any ways to break in so far. You don't have control of vents. You don't have any other extra intel. Now you have the Sage Wall as well. You just oh my god, is this going to be another 4-tag? They do break it just in time.
Yeah, they break it. The fragment will go ahead and slow them up, making sure they can't advance past that Sage Wall. Heals will come out. As Nocchi looking to maintain control over at ropes on the A side. Trying to lock off those 2 members. Being out playing around the smokes. Oh, the flash is going to be thrown, but Delta manages to get enough sight there on the Jinbungi to cut him down. Hermes will find one before getting traded out by Chibop. They're running out of time. Chibop now going to fall. Guanga having to plant outside of default. Just going to be below the vents here.
Nocchi all
She
comes
is
down.
on the flank, but 10X gets a bit of a whip there. Gets a sense. Says, okay, I think there's somebody playing from mid. They get the catch. Wick's going to be a bit too late there on the catch as Harry drops down. Himself tucked in at help, but as he swings wide, we'll get his head taken clean off.
Guanga!
Oh!
They ran into each other, not aware for Felix. Guanga turns around just in time.
Oh, blast pack. Going to be good, and he gets the headshot. 10X! Shifting back over onto it, this looks so much more comfortable. It's been coming up with so many kills with the utility alone. The boom bot and the paint shell before. Absolutely exactly right there. Player's ready to go. Quite many few shots on the Chibop. Yet again, it's just tanking and charging forward. He tries to trade something back. It's a bit of damage there on the Felix. One more shot with the Sheriff would have finished him off, but will at least burn the heal from the Sage. Wick's still holding forward. Tries to get that catch, can't make it happen. The wall will just come up in response. Nice little bite, forces 10X to play up close. And as Hermes gets himself into the garage, Jin Boogie's there to back him up. Back over at A ramp, Wicks will fall. As Delta will narrowly be able to take down 10X just before
these rounds and how Maru starts to react. And holy moly, okay, they're gonna finally, they haven't rushed out far mid yet, but they're not gonna overextend. They just push out in case someone's kind of waiting for that early peak. And Maru correctly holding back as well.
Seems like they don't have the idea that somebody was actually lurking there in sewers. So they try to use that gravity well, but it's not enough to pull Chibop out into line of sight. So they do back away from it for now. Felix just watching here. She goes back, and he may have caught a glimpse. It's hard to tell. Either way, he repositions, gets himself set up by stairs. Reaggresses. Will find Chibop. He's just not been able to steady his aim so far in this map.
Good backup from 10X as well, just allowing for his teammate to reposition after that slow orb. So B Heaven is pretty much on lockdown. I mean, they do have some utility. Sky going to go ahead and use it. There's the barrier orb.
Okay, quick clear out on the wall, though, so that the Trailblazer will get a little bit of extra vision. Still doesn't lead to anything, though.
So now with A kind of being open, I mean, this is Maru's only choice, and Holy Moly knows this. They're willing to give up A Heaven because they just want to lock
Here's
you.
The showstopper.
Oh!
Into Heaven's not going to manage to find the kill. 10X still does manage to get the Vandal back. Out finds Delta before Nakshi takes him down. Still finding value, still keeping the man advantage here from the side of Holy Moly. Wicks makes his entry onto the site, cuts down Jin Boogie, but they're running out of time. Just going to be 12 seconds left. The spike still currently dropped. They run around, get themselves into elbow. They find the kill. Wicks bodyguarding long enough, now drops the pit. The spike plant does come down. 2v3, playing through the smoke. See if they can pull this off. Wicks far forward, one on his left. He does not realize it. He inches forward, finds Hermes, but there's a Sage behind him. But now he needs to try to play for it, but pushes straight out of the smoke into 10X's waiting arms.
It actually almost worked out that Nakshi finally got caught, because otherwise they had no idea that Felix had pushed that deep into the site and into the pit. So after you see that kill, you
on the side of Holy Moly, that the scrappiness that we saw from the initial rounds of Fracture, not really there so far. Chibop again, trying to go aggressive. Delta follows up around the corner, gets a little bit more damage there on the Hermes, but it's not enough to get that kill. And he's close enough to Felix that he's going to be able to get healed up. Peek comes in from Nakji. Still good for a kill, however.
Yeah, I mean, Nakji's been on point with the Tour de Force every time he's able to activate it. It is a little bit different from Chibop. I mean, this is kind of the Chibop we saw last year where you start to feel the pressure and he starts feeling like he has to make these hero plays and he gets a little too far ahead of the team. One of the things I thought Maru was doing very well so far this stage is reeling him in and working as a team. Doesn't matter, though. Nakji continues to pick off the enemies one by one with his Tour de Force.
And even with that kill, it's still not enough for 10X to try to turn his gaze over towards B. Still just sitting in screens, staring out of that A lobby, but pretty soon they're going to have to make a move. Cosmic Divide comes in. Jin Bungi looking to shut them down. Will manage to catch two, which means that Tour de Force not in hands right now of Nakji. He's going to be sitting on the Classic until that expires. Guanga, though, has recovered a nice little rifle, as Nakji will drop one off here. Handing that over to Delta, making sure that they are as well armed and equipped as they can possibly be.
So Wicks, unfortunately, doesn't have a rifle, but his position is going to be the most important here in Male. Just needs to wait to make that call to strike onto Heaven. Can't get too curious. You just have to wait for any call to be made in heaven. He's got to peek out and gets picked off by 10x.
He does. Now it's all on Nocchi, who's running out of bullets. He manages to get one. He swaps over. He guns him down. Can he get it? The shot is going to miss. Harry pushes the corner, and he shuts him out. He makes sure that he cannot get the ace clutch. Nocchi is so damn close, but Harry says no. Puts his foot down, drags it.
Advantage of, he sticks with it, switches to the rifle at the right time, just doesn't have enough bullets to continue on to the next battle.
Oh, boy. What a round.
So close. I mean, would have been such a hero moment for him to really bring things back in this first half, because holy moly, running away with 6 rounds already.
I mean, even getting, 10x, who's come sailing up over his head with the blast packs, he manages to get that kill. It's beautifully done by Nocchi. But it's just not quite enough. That's one of those frustrating ones that, when you're playing, in solo queue, like, nobody on my team could have killed one guy. there's 4 of you, and none of you could kill one guy.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Been on the receiving end of that statement quite a few times.
10x are forward here in the garage. Oh, well,
hello.
Nocchi this time not going to come out on top of the aim tool. 10x just a bit too set in his spot. Guanga quickly trades it back as Chibop tries to use his own operator, but it's just not good enough. Pop flash in, but there's 2 in heaven, and Felix, not blinded himself, does manage to come up with the kill. Hermes ready over on the site.
All the information you could have hoped for as Felix as the sage on A site. Now 10x not able to get that first kill. He gets picked off.
Okay, Chibop still continuing to push the aggression, gets himself up into heaven, finally managed to profit with some kills. Comes up with 2, the drop down there, spots Felix. Just gets a single tap onto the shoulder, it looks like, as Wicks with the operator. Holds down that back alley over towards defender spawn.
This rotate is good from Maru Gaming, and they do send out Guanga to scout.
Oh, spots the foot, tries to go for the quick flick, swaps over to the gun, but it's out of ammo. Has to go for the sheriff, but it cannot get the hits in. Hermes will come up with the kill. Now turn his sights back over here into mid, where the spike has been rotated now to B.
Yeah, you heard the reload, so Guanga just has to wait.
Doesn't even need a headshot, it's just for free. And it looks like finally, Maru should be able to get their first round win, not off the back of an incredible Nocchi near ace clutch, but potentially with a thrifty, unless Felix can go absolutely God mode right here, right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have too much time. Of course, had to start sneaking over after hearing the plant. Now everyone's already set up in main as well, but Felix, of course, has to be concerned about the double angle both in backside and B main here in the garage. So it's not going to be easy for him. I mean, you have the stars set up as well, trying to draw that out. He wants to peek the back of sight so bad.
He's trying to get on it as close as he possibly can. It's just going to be interrupted, and Delta will be good for the headshot there at range. Wants to go ahead and sacrifice.
That's where it's very strongly favored for the defensive side. Mark can regroup after that one. Get 3, 4, 5 rounds. They can still hold their heads high as they go into defense, kind of refresh on that switch.
Actually going with the attacker's operator here. Rendezvous set up, push him back over towards spawn, so it's just playing up, peeking into the garage.
Harry's all the way through sewers already, and the spike is behind, so someone eventually has to cross his sight lines.
They're moving back. I mean, you can see Delta being concerned about this.
He senses it. But here's the mistake that can happen. Delta just scouted out. No one peeks up. Nocchi is going to start walking through, and does he expect this? Oh, he puts the trademark down.
He does, and he
spotted him. He spotted him.
And there's the shot. Okay, Nocchi. He's a little bit wiser than Harry might have given him credit for, so does end up falling. Here's the setup for the showstopper. Spots Chibop. Oh, that one over the side. Chibop manages to elude the explosion, keeps himself alive, comes up with the kill. Maru now seemingly have the ball rolling as Jinbungi going to be zoned back away from the screens. Another bite heading in his direction. Is
Guanga.
Okay.
Okay. No, he still got it. He still got it.
We weren't looking at him. He could just pretend he was in the astral form. That's why I didn't see him, guys.
Yeah,
I was setting up stars.
Happens all the time.
You know, I was going to that astral plane, do that astral stuff that I do, whatever the voice line is.
Well, it's going to be a save here for Jinbungi, of course. Not much you can do. You already have 7 rounds on the board. No reason to take unnecessary risks. On the side of Maru, I do think, it's somewhat worth chasing after him. I mean, Guanga can still safely buy for someone. So they're going to send Chibop forward and then Guanga there for the trade if they can get all the rifles away. Because, again, as we mentioned, they want to kind of carry this streak to the end of the first half. Oh, Chimbungi, he's getting curious.
That he is. Kwanga just around the corner. I mean, if you want to peek that, at least throw the initial shots and like didn't notice that somebody had walked right past him through mail. The editor's saving some face here for him. Oh, Tailwind directly into Delta. G-Pop ends up falling.
Yeah, but Hermes also traded as well, and that was one of the ultimates that Holy Moly had. They started with 4, Hermes now taken down, so it's only the KO. And the Viper Spit, of course, used in mid.
Wall will fall. 3 stacked up, and I mean, Nocchi going on a bit of a solo mission over here towards A. Swing out, maybe see if he can spot somebody over at ramp. If he swings to screens and is prepared, he very well could catch Felix here.
Yes. Oh, he sees him.
Oh, Felix! I don't think Felix saw him. He tucked back and then decided he was going to swing out wide.
Yeah, try to reposition there to catch Nocchi off guard, but Nocchi's just quick enough. And you know the Viper Spit is used in mid, so this is kind of free choice for Maru on which site they want to go to.
Pain Shelter's trying to buy some time, just cutting off the exit here at a garage. But Kwanga just spamming through that wall. Will find Jin Bung-yi, finds 10x as well. Completely breaks open the site as Harry now left all on his lonesome.
He needs to be aware that Nocchi's still probably on the alert.
Well, seems like he was well aware of it, just not quite prepared enough to do anything about it.
What else do we have prepared?
Oh, well, hey, straight into the action. G-Bop gets himself forward. It's like updraft Tailwind onto that ramp platform. With that flash out. The nice opening pick there as Harry goes down. Jin Bung-yi popping the ultimate. Oh, but there's Nocchi. Just turns around for a second, guns him down.
And there's still 2 here as well. Kwanga also in main.
Put a couple shots into him. Nocchi, though, ooh, rough position to be in with just the shorty in hand, but Kwanga will push the corner, finds the kill. Rez comes out, 10x is back into the mix.
Yeah,
Cosmic Divide now going to be called up.
Okay, well that allows them to kind of ignore Kwanga for now.
They do. Nice shot from Hermes around the corner. The push comes in. He guns out a second one. And suddenly it's all on Kwanga. Felix from one angle. And Felix has it as well. You're just talking about these thrifty round wins. And holy moly, pull off one of their own.
Calls from Holy Moly, and then, of course, just good angle from Felix as well at the very end.
Oh, Hermes with an operator. And G-Bop just continues to take a beating. Ends up falling down. Obviously no Sage here for Maru, so can't just try to bring him back into the fight.
What can Nocchi do here in mid? That's what I'm curious about as Hermes continues to just try to power through.
Flash gonna go out. Shot not gonna connect. Nocchi just gonna swap over to the Phantom, trying to break down the wall a little bit there. Keep applying some pressure at mid, but you can see everybody's already shifted back out. Felix turning his sights over to the site, manages to find Kwanga, and Wix will fall. That goes out. We're trying to see if Nocchi has advanced forward. He has not, but it's a good jiggle there from 10x to spot him out. Delta will find one. He is now stranded here on the site. Hermes creeping forward. Fragment going to go a bit too deep. And Delta, oh, the timing's just not there. It all comes down to Nocchi yet again. Needs to kill 4 in order to make this an 8-4 half. Otherwise, we're staring down the barrel of a 9-3.
He's got 4. He's got 4 bullets. I mean, it is possible mathematically.
And I mean, based on what he showed us earlier, we know he's very capable of killing 4 in a clutch situation. Did the stars align twice for him? Looks like with the time running down, the answer is going to be no.
Yeah. Not much you can do.
Now you can't use the tour de force. And Hermes will just go ahead and get that 3rd kill, so 9-3.
In mid here with 4 people focusing. Might even just go for a full push out and then retake.
Knife out, not going to spot anything. Trademark right around the corner. Will go off, but doesn't catch anybody. They get the destroy on it first, and Maru will be playing for the full retake here on the B site.
So holy moly, usually what you'll see a lot of teams do when the site's kind of open over free is actually just push through to gain more area. They choose to just wall it off so that they know for sure, and they've actually backed out just far enough to still hold control of B main here.
Oh, the tuck away here from Hermes.
Oh.
It's the instant headshot, and 10x re-peaks. They find Delta and G-Bop. Low HP, but the heal will come through. Push up onto the box. Wix will get one. 10x pulls back around the corner. And they will just gun everybody down. They've been on equal or sometimes even better weapons. It's not necessarily netted them a win.
No, not on this map.
Still have to be extremely cautious and concerned about this. Nakji obviously not going to be going for the purchase. Still goes for full armor, but has that headhunter to try and get him a, drop a gun on the ground, pick up one of these specters. They need to find value here. It's basically over if Maru cannot close out this round.
Yeah, and you see the setup in B, I mean, you have the Stinger. It's more or less acting as a shotgun here for Guanga, so he wants to play close. And then it's just going to be Nakji's support. On A, though, they're just waiting. They're waiting for them to enter into the site, and then you just want to open up these duels with the Sky and the Jet combo. However, Guiding Light was just used.
10X gets himself into the site. Will get gunned down, though. Chibop around the back of the elbow. Comes up with a kill. They do lose Delta. Chibop trying to wrap forward. In underneath Heaven, tries to steady out the aim, but cannot make it happen. Ends up going down. Now it's all on Guanga. Heal comes out just to really make matters worse for him.
Stinger as well at this range. There's not much you can do from Heaven. You're going to make noise as you drop.
He should be able to get a weapon swap, though, on the drop if he wants to opt in for it, but he's probably concerned at this point about how much ammo is left. Goes for the scope in, gets the burst fire to take out one. Yeah, and that is going to be a marathon run if they can try to bring it to OT.
So once again, leaving B site open. A bit of a push out on A.
Angels are good.
Ooh, yeah, that's going to hit.
And
oh!
Hello?
Maru!
What in the hell? All right. Anyway, 3 kills go over to 10X. He's still alive.
I can't believe it.
What happened? Either way, Wix, I mean, cool headshot, but...
I think what happened was they heard it coming over their head, and because they were in their own nebula, they weren't exactly sure where it was landing, and probably some miscommunication on, like, are we pushing out, are we going back, and they both ended up just sitting in it. It scatters right around them, around the nebula, and keeps them locked in their own smoke.
They must have made the call that they would eat the damage and then try to surprise within the nebula without realizing that it was just going to absolutely nuke them.
Yeah, literally right on top of their head. I believe that might have actually even been Hermes' nebula, so them just really trying to take advantage of that surprise factor, like you said, but it definitely does not pay off.
Not in the slightest. Well, Nakji still with just the headhunter. Creeping his way through ropes is, I think Wix might have actually seen Harry.
I believe so, which is why Wix is on the hunt.
Oh, okay, well, now they've spotted each other, and Wix is just going to go ahead and hightail it away. Gets it, okay. Peeks out onto the site, gets a nice headshot there onto 10X.
If Nakji can win this fight, they have a chance.
Running around the side. Bit of a pinch coming through. They tap the spike there. Hermes doesn't know which way to look.
Oh,
here's
but
the lineups. He's looking for it. Can they body block it?
Wait, it's
damn impressive.
It was a little too late.
Oh.
Oh,
no, it's not!
No,
it is not! It is just on time! Window left to get the defuse, but they were so close to pulling that off. What unbelievable and, frankly, lucky timing from Harry.
Well, Harry the Wizard makes it happen. And now you've got...
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I was making a Lord of the Rings reference. It ends up as a Harry Potter one. We're covering all the bases here. Nerds rejoice. 10X going to have to exit there as X does correctly suss out his position.
Yeah, I mean, 10X is just keeping them tied to it. I mean, usually the Viper will sit around anyway, but this has forced Guanga to keep him company in the Viper's pit. And now they're free to move around as they've already taken control of mid with 1 kill on Nakji. And that means that there's usually a trademark over by Vents or somewhere in A Heaven, and that's just not going to activate anymore with the chamber dead. Holy Moly has full control of mid and even kind of the entry points into each site from mid. Maru's had to really back off after the death of chamber.
Creep up now into Heaven. One at the stairs, one down below. Guanga needs to be huge, but rather, I'm thinking of Guanga. He's on the site. Delta needed to be huge. Doesn't come up with the kill.
Well, Guanga still has his
still
chance.
Does need to be. Drop down comes through, and he says, oh, hello. Takes out 10X, but will end up falling as the pit gets raised. Bit of a pit v pit action here, but Harry definitely having the lion's share of the site. Means that it's going to be rough tidings here for G-Bop and Wix. Trying to get anything done. G-Bop going to fall, and it looks like this might just be at 1 HP in a dream. shut down. And as you say that,
yeah, quite a bit of intel gain from that. So just a back off the site. Now no one near spawn, so they're all stuck in market.
oh, G-Bob, he goes so very low. A 5 HP remaining from him, but somehow it's actually going to be Nocchi who ends up going down to the shock dart. Felix gets the kill. G-Bob does manage to get tucked away here, but they're privy to this, and Jinbungi will manage to come up with the elimination. The 2 members gone, 2 down, about half HP, if not lower. As Delta and Wix need to come up with some kills here. Do a favor to Kwanga, who may very well have to try to clutch this out. Wix comes up with 2 eliminations. The opposite side, swaps over to the Ghost, gets a nice headshot. Darts out into the back, sees them both here onto the spike, gets another. Can it be the ace? Not quite. Felix will gun him down to the end with the frenzy at distance. Heroic effort there from
2B on the backside of B, and then you take it over.
They're going for this forced buy yet again. In a round lost, Jinbungi taking some blind shots through the smoke over towards B lobby, just seeing if he can get a straight connection.
Shebop's got his Phantom as well here, so they need to make this work. I mean, you have full armor and Phantom.
I think it was Wix who was like, well, you know, I got 4 kills. We'll go ahead and give you this Phantom. We'll see if Shebop can find much value with it. As Felix pulls back onto the site, takes quite a bit of damage here as Shebop. Surprisingly not continuing the spray through the box to try to get that wallbang kill. Nice dart will find Delta there from Felix. Gets it in his dying breath as Jinbungi actually does hit him.
Yeah, Shebop feels the pressure on that, has to back off. You've got your teammates here close.
Nano Swarm going out, Kwanga just spamming through. Does find Jinbungi as the Killjoy tries to inch forward, but Harry will fall, and it seems like the forced buy is going to pay off very nicely for the side of Maru, unless Hermes can come up with a 4K clutch with a stinger, in which case just end the series.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if anyone can do it in this server, I think it's Hermes. He's proven himself quite well, but of course the stinger is going to be a little rough. And also Maru not taking any crazy chances here. And Kwanga will be able to clean it up. But Chiba kind of taking that back position means Holy Moly has to be privy to that and always play a bit of a backwards position.
Great forward here from Jinbungi. Hear that jumping from Kwanga. Delta waiting around the corner.
Yeah,
just out of vision.
I mean, they're just waiting to hear the orb.
Juggle. Chucks it out. Sees Jinbungi in behind the box. Will manage to spray him down. He just nowhere to exit when he tailwind over to the side like that.
Yep, Hermes was quick on that ditch. I mean, there was not much else he could do to support him with just pistols, especially a frenzy. So unfortunately for Jinbungi, he was stuck in no man's land. And now they did see Hermes, so they're aware that there's at least one more somewhere around A main. Surely Maru checks this. Yep, the drone going all the way through.
Yep, there's the tag. So they turn their sights over, and Hermes will end up falling. Dart now moving out. It comes down. It's a suppression onto Felix, but not before he can get a nice headshot there onto Kwanga. Takes a bit of damage and will get finished off as Shebop just holds down left click and 10x. With a shorty on a retake, I mean, there's only so much you could do. If he pushes out into heaven, he should be able to take Felix's gun.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, you're just kind of waiting for them to maybe take a different route on the exit, go for the X-Frag, and eventually just die to the spike. Yeah, he knows he has nothing else to do. Because here's the thing, I mean, you walk in, what you're doing is you're giving them an extra ult point, and that's what matters on these eco rounds. It's just every part of the overall economy in Valorant. You need to take that into account. You just want to die to the spike. But hello, they know you're here.
They're going on the hunt, and yeah, I mean, at that range, it's
to his right. Holy Moly continuing to kind of leave mid open, just watching it from afar, feeling pretty comfortable this time. They're holding a back position all through and through. They don't want to take any unnecessary risks since they have all rifles, whereas still some members stuck on their Spectres here for Maru Gaming.
Bump gets the switch. He's not ready for 10x to come lurking out of the smoke. Kwanga is. Found a kill moments before that, and Kwanga is just going to be scooping up kill after kill, getting revenge for his fallen comrades here. Harry does go down. Now a 3v2, Wix decides to play forward here at the switch, and it's rough tidings yet again for Holy Moly. Already losing out on 3 members, and might even have to just consider saving here. If you break down the market door, and Felix will find 1.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know if you really want to take this risk. It feels like you want to because you have your rifles and you still have some moderate armor.
The feeder revealed, and Kwanga now on for the ace. I mean, if he swung out, check market, he actually might have been able to see Felix just sitting there.
Yeah, he was still in his drone.
But it seems like this very well could happen. He's got the HP advantage. He swings down, and there you go. Kwanga with an absolutely there for Kwanga.
And this has been so important, and not just in Korea, but through every region, is we're starting to see, I mean, every team has a good duelist. Every team has a good jet. But really, at what point do you start to think about, well, who has the better kind of second entry, the later half of that line, who can really support you on those trades, the kills, or when you're moving as a unit? And we're starting to see that growth here in Korea, as well as teams focus a bit more on what those other agents can do.
Chibop gets himself into the site. There's one in hell, hasn't spotted him yet. Does see Harry. Finishes him off the drop down. Hermes. Oh, I think he barely saw him. Yeah, Chibop. A nice reaction from him. Felix will come up with another dart kill, this time getting rid of Kwanga. Make sure that there can be no multi-kills for him this time around. But Chibop, he is the one who's looking for the 4K, and he will have it. Dominant start here from Maru.
Could have done a lot of damage. Of course, Chibop catches one glimpse of him very much at the end. And now Maru, I mean, they've been kind of focused on pushing early and getting that info. Now they're going to strike as a squad, and they just have someone watching the lurk.
Splashing their way in, looking to just push the pace. Moved up just outside of main. Drawing a good amount of utility here. This null command just pulsing. Fragment now burned.
Yeah, the null command really shutting down a lot of the ideas here. Of course, Wix had activated his Hunter's Fury and cancels that out. Which means, I mean, it was very clear. Maru had the idea of open with the Hunter's Fury, and then we all charge in at the same time, clearing heaven and hell at the same moment. Now they've had to reset just a bit.
Oh, Jinbungi. He tagged up. Good early reaction there from Nagji, just to keep punishing damage in. And, this is the problem with not having that Sky on this map, is completely or without heals.
Yeah, you don't really have any way to regroup. Oh,
Chibop. But okay, well, they say Chibop has been landing on the site every single time. They just spam it out, gets the elimination. Bit of a whiff there. But Jinbungi, just to draw out with the Sheriff, still finds a kill. It's 10x. And Hermes look to hold it down. Now it all comes down to Nakji. Trying to creep in through tree. Doesn't have too much time left, though, but he manages to find some eliminations. Running out of time. Needs to start planting.
There's
a pinch coming through. Yep. There you go. Harry from above will get the elimination. Harry
out one of his own.
No, nothing for that. No reaction.
I
thought Harry in the Order of the Felix was pretty good. I've been waiting for them to do something together.
Oh man, sometimes I'm just a little too slow on these references.
I guess at this point, Harry Potter is, I guess, a bit dated.
It is a bit dated now that you mention it. You know what? Now I don't feel that bad.
Strange to say that, but it's what it is. I mean, even the movie's getting to be over 20 years old.
Oh,
they just had the 20th anniversary, actually. So,
jeez. Well, now I'm gonna have to kind of think about all the time that has passed.
Ooh, narrow margins here as they swing across. Jinbungi pushes back, catches Nakji. There goes the tour de force.
Jinbungi just going back. Oh, and there's the ping.
Oh, the angle's a little bit off, though. Chibop comes up over the top. Manages to find Harry as well moments before the Cosmic Divide comes in. Absolutely massive. Chibop just breaking open the site.
Yeah, I mean, he was ready for it. You saw the recon dart come out, and he says, well, he's positioning for some type of Odin play. We heard it at the end of that previous round. He goes in, I mean, simply just to even draw aggro, but he actually gets the kill and is able to clear out market as well.
I'll just save.
Yeah, this is a call for a save. I mean, you have an op. You don't want to lose that on some kind of crazy retake here, so not taking any chances. Good execute from Maru, though.
Absolutely massive. Just fantastic 2 kills there from Chibop. And, I mean, losing Nakji doesn't really cost him too much because he had that tour de force pop, so he's going to be very well situated economically. I mean, teammates also can just buy him whatever the hell he wants. Delta's sitting at almost 5,000 credits right now.
Yes, Maru's still very stable. They'll continue to carry that off. They have the Blade Storm whenever they need. I mean, or Chibop, of course, used the Blade Storm this round, but they'll be able to...
Side of Holy Moly, but half armor there for 10x. As Jinbungi will find a very nice opening kill. Chibop instantly going to be knocked on his rear, punished for his transgressions in the previous round.
Yeah, I like this idea from Jinbungi. I mean, they had the alarm bot set up, but he still pushes out because we've seen kind of that attacker smoke coming out here in mid. So he says wall peek out right before the Nebula hits. He's able to get the shot right as the smoke comes up, and then he backs off. The alarm bot has been cleared with a shock dart or shock bolt, so he still has to be wary of mid. The Jet with the op now on mid duty. Everyone else can sit very safely. I mean, Killjoy has a utility that allows Holy Moly to stack 3 on A. Holy Moly has no need to push out any further. You can scout for some info on your cooldowns.
A bit too far forward, that Nebula. Had it been right at the archway, Bench probably would try to hold that position, see if he can catch somebody, but knows that there's potential flashbangs that he needs to respond to as well, so decides that it's safe to just go ahead and reposition, try to get set up an alley. 10x though, gonna fall. Delta with a fragment finds the elimination, but Jin Bung-yi continues to slow their efforts and their assault here onto the B site by finding that kill. Delta pop flash up over the side, pushes through, finds Harry at point blank range, will manage to get the elimination, but Felix back over in Market, cuts down Nakji as well. 2 members on the site looking to stave off 3. Delta with a great headshot. Cuts down Jin Bung-yi before he can even try to flick.
Yep, they heard the sound. Now they're aware of Delta's position somewhat. They're still wary of Boathouse.
Take a couple sprays through, and he will fall on the flank. Push around the side, Wicks gets 1. Now just needs to try to play with time. Dark goes out over the top, and he just goes for the push. Great. So few Sova's, at least here in Korea, would really think about swinging immediately on that dart just to really offset the reaction time. So overall, brilliantly done there.
So Nakji with the op on B. I mean, they're aware of it, but that also forces them to stay back. They also have that trademark there, so when they leave, should anyone try to chase after them, Maru Gaming has good knowledge of what the movement from Holy Moly is. Now, they have given up mid control almost completely, which has allowed 10x to push out quite far.
But with a Marshall, needs to be on point, and Nakji is fully prepared for it. But this Fury comes out, and Felix, he gets 2! Wicks and Guang are both taken down, and that is absolutely massive for this squad that finds themselves in a potential thrifty win position. Delta does manage to find another kill. Felix takes out a 3rd before he ends up falling, and Nakji do very much the same. Gets rid of Jin Bung-yi.
Maru, and this time you saw, I mean, Shibop's still going on top of Generator, but they're able to use the fragment to make sure he doesn't get picked off too quickly. It actually converts into a kill. Continue to use that shock bolt to make sure that Holy Moly can't leave mid entirely. If the alarm bot continues to be put up there, Holy Moly is going to be drawn back to mid. Someone's going to have to rotate, which means both sides will only have 2 people.
Hermes creeping around in the smoke, tries to throw up that gravity well, and Shibop manages to outgun him. 10x, so pushes blind spray, will go ahead and make that a 1-for-1. Judge on the grounds for getting that Phantom. Overall, a positive trade. There's Harry playing off the back. Sight there. Nice peek. Finds Nakji. Follows up for another shot now. Getting rid of Delta. Oh boy, Harry! Some nasty Vandal shots coming through. Dart around the corners. Wicks will fall.
Getting this plant.
Absolutely gorgeous from Harry. Shibop. Push up over the top. Jin Bung-yi, despite having that advance information, misses out on the shot, and he's not ready for Shibop to be on top of the archway. Bit of a bit more of a unique approach there as Shibop narrowly makes his way to the switch, but 10x is very quickly able to shut him down.
Yeah, just a little too far ahead.
Delta going to be seen now. As Fury starts coming through, Delta just going to be spraying through, manages to find Felix on the site. It's a couple blind shots through that smoke over to the alley, but doesn't get the hit. 10x swinging around the corner, and oh boy, manages to get the kill. I thought for a second Wicks was going to be able to turn that around.
Oh, I like this. I like the lockdown just straight up in the site.
They don't have a way of trying to clear this one out. They have to push for it. 10x manages to find 4 kills before inevitably going down. Lockdown gets cleared. Wanga gets the instant dome onto Hermes. Make a case for it again here.
Yeah, I really like what he's doing. I also like that they saw the lockdown position, and Maru says, well, we're all going to push out together. We're not going to try for any type of pinch. We all just need to make sure we get the kill and get the lockdown. And while they have to go through a number of trades, eventually Guanga makes it happen, and he's ready with the one-way to take care of Hermes. Maru Gaming, 8 rounds already, potentially making it a 9-3 in the first half.
Going to be looking for it. As they just slow things down. Side hits have been fairly quick, so they say, okay, change the pace up. Let's not go updrafting, you know, into mid this time. It's played out nice and slow. Nakji, forward position here. Just alongside the bench, Jinbungi nearby.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Jinbungi, he really wants to peek out and get some sort of information, but they've had no info. No info here in mid.
The hit starting to come through now. Bungi still lurking around mid.
Oh,
see if they can find anything,
Hermes.
but Felix gonna go down. Chibop gets himself up into heaven. Gets rid of Hermes. It's only Delta lost on the way in. Nakji now looking to wrap around from behind. Whether or not he can actually get into position to catch anybody fast enough, we'll have to just wait and see. Chibop holding forward. Initial spray misses. That's going to be the Cosmic Divide now coming in. Harry tries to drop in, but Chibop says no. Blades comes out, throws a blind to the smoke. Be looking for this pistol round win as they shift over onto the attack. Knife out to start. To catch it onto at least one as you hear those headhunter shots flying from Nakji. He's only got 2 more remaining.
Yep, and they've taken over mid. They have the entire courtyard to themselves for Maru. They came out from pretty much covering all angles here in mid.
Chibop creeping around the back. Ooh, 10x. The swing timing from him could be huge. Doesn't see anything. Oh, catches the shoulder, but 10x still actually going to be able to win out that trade despite getting shot early on.
Yeah, and what Maru doesn't realize is, yeah, the spike hasn't really moved anywhere. In fact, it's closer to B. You start to hear the rotate.
But Hermes turning his sights over to potentially, you know, shift around some of his utility setups. Ends up getting caught on the flank there. Gwanga with a nice kill. Keeps things a bit more even for Maru.
Yep, both 0 points, just kind of identifying each other.
Starts could be devastating. Where are they going to land? Lands into the back. That's 10x gone. Is already tagged up. Another one right into the archway. Doesn't really find too many connections, and Wix can't stable his aim, so Felix manages to out-trade him. Delta going to have to break through the doorway here as Gwanga does get tagged up, but manages to answer back with a nice headshot. But 16 HP remaining. Not even a full HP bar to rub, you know, together between the two of these guys. It's
looking rough.
not looking great.
Yeah, they can't get tagged. I mean, but at the same time, it's a 2v2. Anything's doable. You know they're both in sight at this point.
Sees the head. Can't get the hit. Harry's head finds it. Good dink there from Delta. The jump up around the side.
Gotta be scared of that.
Yeah, it takes him down to 21. Nanoswarm now coming out. Gets the headshot, and man, if Delta can pull this off, it would be huge. He's got the correct read. He sees him around the back, but he says, yeah, I'm just gonna play into the site. Drops down. Taps the spike. He's trying to bait him in. It's tucked away, but yeah, it's just a matter of time. Jinbungi.
That pistol round pushing out very far and aggressively in mid. Unfortunately.
It's going to be the shorty here from Chibop. I don't think that scattered. Never mind. They got the dart,
What?
but it doesn't matter.
Oh, it's Nakji actually with the support.
They have covering fire. 2 other people sitting there, so they do go ahead and get that elimination. Do they feel cheeky enough to try to go for the gun? See the drop off the side there from 10x.
They're just going to make sure that no further advantage given over to Maru. So Maru just happy to take the kill and let things be here. Of course, Chibop still hanging out with the shorty.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, bit of a debate there. Pulls back the Nebula, forces the rendezvous as Chibop goes up around the corner. It's just a smattering of damage in, but not too much.
Chibop's still there.
Yeah, went forward, and yeah, I don't know if they necessarily realize it. Now Nakji just pushes up, gets on top of Jinbungi, and finds the elimination. As they spill into the site, though, it's going to be nice trade-ups, but find themselves in a 2v2. Dark goes out, the drop down comes in, they're looking for him at hell. They get the elimination, and oh, Delta shifts back over, fought nothing. When you had the weapon advantage, it's just brutal, and already the start to the next round, not, you know, looking any better. With sheriffs in hand, 10x not necessarily going to mind too much that he dies in this round, but they're running out of time. They're running out of opportunities to try to turn this around.
And I love this from Maru. I mean, they have kind of B main on lockdown, so you saw Delta just closing the door. You have kind of the far back trademark if they were to wrap all the way around until you hear noise on that door. You know mid is more or less safe. You're just expecting to hold down each site, and more so A site. Right now, Nakji just sensing something, so he wants to rotate back. And he's still able to provide some support on the other side. He's got his rendezvous ready. There he goes, set up for the rotate.
Chibop not really landing his shots, but still forcing positions. Shifts them all the way back on a boiler. Well, Nakji creeps up and shows a bit of presence over by Tree.
Yeah, and you saw Harry, if you were watching the minimap, he kind of looks around a minute, he's like, well, there's no trademark? Like, what's going on? And then he sees the doors close, and now you're like, well, we can't push through there. It's been spotted. We only have 30 seconds. No one's here with me. He has to take the spike back.
Oh, okay. Chibaba 1-for-1. Jinboogie gets a nice headshot. Weapon not going to be picked up, though. So they don't want to advance that far forward. Guanga just nicely set up to come up with 2. Not quite a collat, but still it's a little corner shot there onto Harry to finish him off.
Yeah, and he's just waiting for Hermes.
Oh. Feels his position, his spot. They know exactly where he's at. He comes up with a nice headshot, but just does not have time to make this work. Looks come storming into the site with the Odin in hand.
Gonna be willing to push through that. Oh, and now an early push out.
Oh, Chibab.
Oh!
Going for it, has the set play set up, and Guanga in the meantime advances out from B main. They just take the fight to them.
Oh my
Maru
God.
knows that they're going to be desperate to try to get around win, so they just push the accelerator here. They shove down the pedal, and they just absolutely smother the forces of Holy Moly.
I mean, what I love about that is, I mean, that's what Stax does, but he does it on his own with Sky.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't have a Sky, so if you can just throw a flash for me, I will do it as Jet.
Yeah.
Shibab makes it work.
And we'll have 2 to back you up.
Yeah, of course.
4-man effort in the lobby. As Delta pop flash comes out, spots, but there's just nothing that Hermes can do in that situation. Maru absolutely.
And then you take control of mid. But right now, not many options. So holy moly, it looks like it's just going to be a straight rush. They've got the Cosmic Divide as well, going for that corner plant.
Moving up, full rotation coming over here from Maru. They know that there is no ambiguity about this whatsoever. It's not going to be a sneak play or a fake. Spike gets planted there, just on the corner. Everybody pulls back.
Oh, but there is a Cosmic Divide on the other side.
Answering Cosmic Divide goes out, Shock Dart, a little bit of damage on the Jinboogie, otherwise not too much. Drone going to be cleared out. They're playing forward. Jinboogie with a nice little angle, but Wicks
They're just
pushes
buying
alongside of him. Nanoswarm going to find one as the darts fly through. Just trying to buy time as much as they possibly can.
Now, half was already done. I don't know if they know.
Half is already done. They need to clear it, and then it's not going to be able to.
Oh,
Chiba is the bodyguard. He says